I am an occupational therapist, and I've been doing this work for over 11 years now, and primarily working and specializing in neurological rehabilitation. It came to me that, well, how great would it be if there could be a program online that's providing more direct training and education for the caregiver, because they're often the person in that care partnership who's left behind, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a lot of attention and resources put into the survivor, understandably so. But then the care partner gets left behind and they're going, wait a second, I'm kind of thrown into this role, right? A loved one, something happened to them, and all of a sudden I'm expected to be 10 other things in my life that I didn't receive training for. There's no manual to be a caregiver, right? I wanted to create something in an online space that would provide more of that direct training and support, a little bit more hand holding, a little bit more, direct feedback, giving them the time to explore and try and, try again, right? It's not going to be perfect the first time. And the little, 30-minute caregiver treatment sessions that we're giving people in the hospital system, even in outpatient clinics, is just not enough. Focus of that is really training caregivers to think more like an occupational therapist. And we're constantly looking at these three domains and creating this, what we call that just right fit, right? We want to
Yeah.
support what we call occupational performance, which is basically just that ability to perform, to do your day-to-day activities, because there's still going to be residual deficits that they're working on, that they're dealing with,
Mm.
so if we can change, modify, adapt, support, encourage, just create the space for the person recovering to be more independent, to try different things. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try something else. And giving caregivers that knowledge base of how to
Yeah.
go about that, how to think about these different domains. I want to give caregivers that perspective because it's going to allow them to problem solve themselves, to, kind of help their loved ones in a deeper, more enriched way.
My wife will see that I'm not picking up on something. The normal person's not going to tell that, but she can just tell by the look on my face. He ain't getting it. So she steps in and translates for me. So does that program help them understand?
Absolutely. As you know, with brain injury, everyone is individual in terms of what they're
Mm.
experiencing. The changes that occur is different for every single person. And so there's incredible resources out there. If you know where to look, there's some great resources out there. Brain Injury Association, right? They have talks and workshops and education on the general ideas of brain injury, the general, okay, here's the symptoms you're going to see. But what I want to provide is that individualization of, okay, what are we seeing here? What are you noticing? What are those signs and cues to pick up on? And then what you can do as a caregiver, like, what is that best next step? Instead of just jumping in, and we call it that overhelping, right? Because it's your loved
Yes.
one. You want to help. You don't want to see your loved one suffer. So you
Mm-hmm.
tend to overhelp and just kind of jump in and, oh, honey, let me get that for you. Let me do it for you. And of
Yes.
course, we know the research says in brain injury, that's not the best way to promote that neuroplasticity. You got to
Yes.
allow them the time, give them the space to problem solve themselves, to try and fail safely,
Mm-hmm.
but creating the space to try and fail and try again until we get what works.
I love that you tailor it to the situation because with the brain injury, there's no two alike. We
Exactly.
have a lot of commonalities, but everybody is totally different. So that is awesome that you do that. Now, what would one expect, say, when they join your program?
Currently, the program is a 6-month program, and it gives them that time to trial, to breathe within it. The intensity can vary based on the person, what they are wanting, and what they are needing in the moment. So that's looking at either one one-on-one session a month or two one-on-one sessions a month, depending on, again, that intensity needed. But in between this, the one-on-one session, there is support. There is communication between us. So I kind of call it the OT in your back pocket program.
I'm excited to see where this goes for you. I can see this going really big.
Thank you. It's very exciting. It's one of those things like, you find something that is truly aligned to who you are, as an occupational therapist working in the medical field. There is a lot of burnout there right now in the medical field, but finding this path and working with this population of caregivers, because like I said earlier, they really are the forgotten person in that care partnership a lot of times.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us today. We're going to link everything below in the comments. So if you're interested in getting in touch with her, and I hope you are, I'll have a link directly below to get to her sites. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next week.